Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Live Out Loud. Tonight's
Hello.
topic is: Are you a good lover? Hmm. Elle, you want to go into more details of that? Because my mind can go 100 miles an hour with that.
Um, yeah, I can talk about that. Give me one split second. I'm gonna have to turn this down a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I know you heard everything I just said.
Nope.
We so normally authentic on here. It's ridiculous. Um, ooh. So I actually did some research on it. Further, like digging deeper inside myself. Because when you think of lover, you a lot of people's minds go to sexual, physical intimacy, that type of thing. And so, um, I mean,
That's
that's what
exactly
people
where my
think.
mind went.
When you hear it, what do you think?
That's exactly where my mind went. Like, oh, am I a good lover? Like, sexually. Yes.
Right. So for me, I think the best thing what I could really truly say is it's not physical. It's not all physical. A lot of times, being a good lover actually are the characteristics, and I actually have some written down. I actually have some that we'll talk about a little bit more as we go here, but it's actually the things you do in relationships or in connections with people that determine if you are a good lover or not. Um, People can meet, right? And they can meet at a bar and they can go home and they can have sex and they can be intimate that way. And not even a lot of people have, let's talk about the fact that a lot of people have sex and don't be intimate, okay?
Mhm.
So you can't determine physical feelings and physical stuff, tie that into just being the sole source of uh, intimacy, being the sole source of being a good lover. So, what's your thoughts on it? I'm going to pull what I had wrote out because a lot of people will be surprised to know that there's a lot more to that than intimacy physically.
I believe that there is a lot more into it. I think that there is like literally a spiritual connection, um, especially like when I'm intimate with someone. Um, I have to be spiritually connected with that person also. Um, Otherwise, it's just not even there. Like I feel like it's a waste of my time.
Interesting. I got some.
I want to see what you got written down, girl.
I got some. It's in my Word, so I'm pulling it in a Word document, yo. 'Cause I really wanted to talk about this because I don't think it gets proper um results as far as what people think, it actually means. So, um, oh, that's because I don't need to be in there. I need to be here. So, some characteristics of being a good lover: kindness. Some say kindness is the most important quality to look for in a romantic partner. Trust, right? Trust is essential and effective for effective communication with your partner or with someone that you're intimate with. Patience is a virtue. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to be patient with yourself and with somebody that you're in a partnership with or somebody that you're loving on. It's important. Here's a big one: mutual respect. Mutual respect shows respect for your partner's feelings and their opinions and their boundaries. Open communication. The key, the way to good communication is the ability to be able to express yourself and open yourself up to being open. And the last one that I have for that is accountability. And we could actually go through these and kind of talk about them. For me, I would say I'm a good lover, and I'm not saying it just because we could say that about ourselves. Was I always? No, I didn't always have mutual respect. I didn't always communicate appropriately. I damn sure wasn't always accountable. I can tell you that right now. And I wasn't always kind. Trust is a big one. You should be able to trust somebody if you're intimate with them, and if you are being good to someone, or if that person is being good to you, trust should be a given. It shouldn't be something that you have to try to search for, or you should definitely trust. You should be able to be trustworthy and be able to trust somebody.
Especially if you're laying down and you're sleeping with them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When I say for myself that I'm a good lover, I wasn't always. And it's so crazy because, when you're younger, your stamina, well, that's not true. But when you're younger, you're younger. And, they say, but in these 40s, anyway, we're not going to do that.
Whole
But
different ballpark.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Whole different ballpark.
Right, you're really young and this, that, or the other. But the honest to God truth is, I honestly, in the 20s, in that decade, I was lustful, but I don't think those being lustful really gave me the characteristics to understand what it was to be a good lover. Um, I think I was going through the motions of everything I was doing, and all of the characteristics and the things that I named off. Even I don't think I was able to apply any of that back then at all.
Probably not, because it wasn't meaningful back then.
Right.
And so as you grow older, it becomes meaningful. And so I can absolutely agree with that. I think that back then you were doing it just to be doing it. There wasn't really a mission or a purpose. And so the older you get, then you know what the mission is and why it is that it's purposeful. You're thinking like now, back then, that was just the duty, like going out and having fun. Um, Hooking up with a guy was just hooking up with a guy, versus now it's no longer hooking up with a guy. It's I love this individual, and now I have a connection with you, and there's a purpose for this, and there's a meaning of why it is that we're laying down and we're intimate with one another. And if I'm not in love with you, then I'm not going to lay down with you. Versus back then, it's kind of like having puppy love. Like, we didn't know what that was. So absolutely.
Good old puppy love, way back when.
We loved everyone. So we thought we did.
Right. So then I had those characteristics, and then I had something else earlier that I spent some time on in regards to the topic. Oops. Mm-hmm. How do you know if you're a good lover? How do you know?
I think your partner would give those same signs back.
What if they're incapable?
They wouldn't be incapable, because you would be modeling what it is of what a good lover is, for them to be able to respond back in that same manner. And if you're communicating, then you're telling them and guiding them exactly what it is that you need, for them to be able to give you what it is that you need. I think communication is the key. If I have certain needs and I'm communicating that with you, then there is no other way but for you to be able to properly meet those needs.
So, how do you know you're a good lover? You are fundamentally there. Hold on. You're fundamentally there for each other. That creates the trust. You see each other as real people, the good and the bad and the ugly. You can meet in the middle, contribute to making each other feel good. So, kind of pretty much what you said. Be good listeners and have similar core values. Be able to have healthy discussions when you disagree. Here's the thing, people be so quick to just want to hop in the bed sexually. They don't even know what it is to communicate with one another. And so when you're involved with somebody in an intimate space, especially these days, people are just hooking up, shacking up.
Mm-hmm.
They're just hooking up. They're shacking up. They're not taking that part of their lives seriously. And so to say, I could screw you good, that doesn't classify, in my opinion, doesn't classify you to be a good lover.
Right.
Doesn't, because we're not getting the core pieces of what it is or what's needed. And what's sad is a lot of people in this generation are not even going to get the opportunity to experience that. They don't have R&B music like what we had. They don't have parents like we are the parents, and I'm sorry, we are lacking in the abilities to get to for our children to have that. I'm sorry. In a lot of areas, not all of us. Some of us have, that.
Well, some of our kids have that because
Some of them do.
our kids know all of those
Right.
olden
Some
days.
of them do. And you know what? It ain't even our generation no more. We're the grandmamas.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. It's our kids is kids that we need to be worried about if we're
Yes.
thinking about it. But the reality of it is that people don't know how to be intimate. If you don't know how to be intimate, you're not going to have, there's no way in hell you're going to be a good lover to anybody, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't even display emotion, love, trusting. It should be that when you lay down with somebody, you should be able to trust that person. But y'all picking up folks from these bars, and people are picking up people from different places.
Yeah.
That ain't nobody you trust. That's somebody you just want to bang or get banged out by.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing, because that's not what
Yep.
we're here
Yep.
for. But for me, like, and even back when I was younger, like, I have to have things planned when it comes to my intimacy. That's how I started, what is it? My youth, my relationships, my courtships. I remember telling my ex-husband, I was like, I want to be courted. Do you know that turned into a full-fledged argument? A
Mm-hmm.
full-fledged, full-blown, I'm talking throwing blows type argument, type fight. And then he called his mom, and she was like, well, all she was saying to you was she wants you to date her. I don't know what the hell that is. And that's some shit. And that's some extra stuff. And that's all because of the trauma that he endured. That ain't got shit, that had nothing to do with Ebony. That was all because of the stuff he endured. But not even understanding that, dude, I want you to date me. That's important. Like, I need you to date me. Like, I need to experience that kind of stuff. Like, I
You need
can't,
to explore me and to get to know me.
yes. And because I can't give you anything based off of just one night stands. I can't do emptiness. Listen, I don't know if it has anything to do with my not having my father in the house growing up or what. I struggle with, I don't know how to, I can't go out. Even back when I was younger, I couldn't go out and be intimate with somebody without attaching. I have to have an attachment. I don't know how to have detached relationships or detached connections with people. So
That's
when I
fine.
think about being a good lover and I think about myself, I think I'm a damn good lover, because if I'm going to give myself to you, I'm going to give you all those key components of the things that, I listed, that I read off. I'm going to give you those pieces. Now, was I always able to do that? No. But I think it's very important that we understand what it means to actually be that, to be a good lover. So, yeah. But not even understanding that, dude, I want you to date me. Why am I talking? That's twice? Important. Like, did you hear that? That was weird. What was going on? No, but yeah, that's my take on it. I feel, and then like I said, going back to even, the different things. Will you be a good listener? Like, you can't know what your partner wants if you don't listen to them or if you don't connect with them. You need to be able to, if your partner tells you, I don't like this way, but you want to continue to do it this way, what's happening
It's
there?
part of communication and
Uh-huh.
listening.
Exactly.
Listening skills and communication skills is like most definitely the key, because if you don't have listening skills and you don't have communication skills, it's just not going to work.
At all. Similar core values. What do you think about that one?
Mm, I agree with that, because if you are complete opposites and you don't have anything that is aligned with one another, that could be a disaster, especially when it comes down to being intimate. Um, if you always think that I'm supposed to be on top and I don't like that, um, yeah, we're not going to in the bed align at all. Like, because I'm going to get tired of the position that you're trying to put me in if you always think that I'm supposed to give you oral and I don't like that. Like, if we don't have anything in common in the room, you like it a particular way that I don't like, and nothing aligns and we can't compromise, it's just not going to work, because one of us is
Sure,
going to be ready to
especially
throw
when it
in the
comes.
towel. I don't know what's going on there.
It's okay. Keep going.
One of us is going to be ready to throw in the towel, though.
Yeah.
And I think that um, intimacy is a very important key in a relationship.
So let me ask you, if your partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your partner, there's things that you like, but they're non-negotiables for your partner. How do you deal with that?
Um,
So like, if your partner likes something specific
mm-hmm.
and they want and they desire that, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not willing to give that to them, right? Or they're not willing to give it to you, right? How do you deal with that?
I can compromise in the bedroom. Um,
Compromise is good.
I
You
can
know
compromise.
what the answer that is to some other people?
Hmm.
Some people are going to do what?
Cheat.
Exactly.
I don't. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater because I know how that feels, and I wouldn't recommend it. On top of that, I don't have any problems with compromising. Um, there is some non-negotiables for me as well, and so there's just some things that I just won't do, and so it just is what it is. Um, if you have yours, I have mine. Let's lay them out on the table, and see where we can go ahead and we can dance around those. Um, I'm willing to explore and try, but I don't do the cheating. That is one of my end all be alls. Like, that's
Yeah,
something
I'm
that if you feel like you need to go and step out, then you might as well stay out.
mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like if you and I are sleeping together and you have to go and sleep with somebody else, that somebody else is sleeping with somebody else as well. And so we're just now incorporating a whole bunch of other people in the scenario and situation. There's no reason for me to go ahead and add a whole bunch of people in my bed. I can go and find somebody that will just be desiring just me.
So when I cheated, right? Because I'll be honest, I've already taught and been talked about it. When I've cheated, I was in my 20s. I never cheated after that, but when I was cheating with that person, that situation, I was young. And that's not an excuse. But when I think back on the reasons why, a lot of it had to do with all those characteristics that I named as far as being a good lover and that's needed to be a good lover. I didn't possess any of those and didn't understand that those were necessary to even be able to be a good human, a good partner, let alone to be able to be a good lover. See, if you love somebody and you wholeheartedly love them, it's kind of like what you said. You're going to negotiate. There's some things you have to negotiate, and there's some things people have gone through traumas. People have had things happen to them in their lives, and if you love them, they're going to need you. I hate the whole thing where people are always like, oh, I got needs, or she has needs, or he has needs. You know what I'm saying? People be like, I have needs. And it's like, okay, true. But these are things that we need to have probably discussed early on. That's
Mhm.
why it's not good to prematurely get involved or prematurely get in relationships with people without completely understanding or knowing what
Those needs are.
yes, you have to know, all gloves off. You're going to get in the bed and you're going to get completely naked with people. You need to start getting completely naked with people from the inside and from the core, and not just getting completely
Mhm.
naked with people from the outside and laying up and having sex and being intimate that way. Because a lot of people are getting in the bed with strangers and have no knowledge of anything they've gone through nor their desires, and they don't know how to apply those things, and
Or
that's
even
where
enough
people
that
get,
they don't like each other.
they don't like, exactly, we don't like each other, we don't have nothing in common. Even, sex can be good, and sex can be great, right? But at the same time, you'll find after time your eyes are wandering or you're doing something else because y'all haven't actually established a foundation for what it is that you were doing. So
Mhm.
it's a heck of a, this is a heck of a topic because realistically people don't do this enough. They don't sit down enough and they don't talk about the negotiables versus the non-negotiables when it comes down to being a lover and being with somebody. You hear, "Ooh, I want to be a good lover." Ooh, I can bang you good. I can do this good. No, it's not about that. It's
And
not
and
about
being
that.
and being a good lover isn't like the only thing that it takes to be able to hold a relationship together. Like that isn't the foundation of a relationship. Like that isn't even a whole piece.
I bet you it's the foundation of 65% of the relationships that are out here right now.
And that is a hot mess.
I know. I know
Because
that.
if if,
You know that.
if that's what is holding you together, like no.
Let me tell you, when I was running
Be
around here doing what I was doing, to be perfectly honest with you, I was addicted to that. When I was cheating, because let's be real, that's what I was doing in my 20s, running around here. I would leave work because I was just addicted to this person. I couldn't think. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything but think about that person
then
and that
but then like
physical.
but then like every other addiction that runs dry.
And that's the thing. We didn't have anything else in common but that.
And that's why I said like every other addiction that eventually runs dry. And then when that runs dry, then it's like then where are you at? Like
Right.
so I would hate to have that sort of kind of addiction. Like I would love to be able to know that I could spend time with you and lay up with you and not be intimate with you for nights ends and enjoy your company and have all the rest of the world with you to
And
know
intimacy is confusing for people because sometimes people just think intimacy is when you're laying there having sex with somebody. intimacy is rubbing my
Mhm.
eyebrows or holding me or rubbing my back or giving me massages or rubbing my
Yeah.
feet or, that's intimacy. Asking me sitting down and asking me how my day is and just looking me in my eyes like that
And
to
and and
me,
being
connection.
100 and being 100% involved and interested in how it is that your day just went.
Yes. Yes. I'm telling you, and what's crazy as I got
Yeah.
older is it the same for you because I'm 44. What, you're 45, right? We're in the same age bracket. Okay. Where I am now, it is so important. Whereas before, the wrong shit was important. Does that make sense?
That
Like
makes total sense.
the wrong stuff was important. It's so important for me to be able to have a functioning conversation or like I said, just to even touch and feel and hold each other. That's everything to me. I don't
Mhm.
always need to have that other stuff. Now listen, I'm married, so that don't mean that I don't always have it. But I'm saying it comes from a place, it has to come from a place that's meaningful. I can't just be out here I can't be out
No,
here just
you
not,
can't.
yeah, no.
The
Mm-mm.
small stuff is very important.
Yes,
Um, I don't need a lot, but I do need your time. I do need your attention. I do need for you to be present. And when I say present is I need for when we are having conversations for us to actually be having a conversation and for you to be paying attention.
right.
Uh, for later on when we're having conversations for you to be able to verbatim repeat something that I said months ago. That
Yes.
is important to me. Like, oh, you were listening. Um, like that just tickles my heart. It warms me inside to know that you heard me when I said certain things that was just so tiny. Um, that wasn't even important to me, but for you to hear that and hold on to that. Um, for you to pay attention to certain things means so much to me. Um,
Yeah, I can say that too. When I was telling my husband about my best friends, my childhood best friends, and how important they were to me, but I haven't seen several of them in 30 some odd years. For him to take that to another level, that got my friend came to Vegas for my birthday, hadn't seen her since 1989. You heard me.
mhm.
You heard me.
To make
It-
the things that are important to you important
yeah,
to them.
yeah. It's not. It's deeper than that, man. It needs to be deeper than that for people. And I think the reason why I chose this topic because we supposed to be doing, we'll get to that next week going forward. But I wanted to do this because I felt like it was important to at least say it and explain and express that exactly what it is.
Mhm.
What it is to be a good lover is not just because you can lay down and you can bang somebody and blow somebody back out. It's not just that.
Yes.
It's not. And
It,
that's the thing.
it,
That's the first thing that come to people's mind is, oh, I'm a good lover because I can do this and I can do that and I can do that. You're whack. That's all you got. That's all you got.
you know,
You're whack if that's all you got.
there's so much more needed. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
and in order to maintain, um, there is always going to be so much more needed. I say it all the time. I am now single and have been single a year. Oh, it's
It's
been
a
a year
year.
now.
Woo,
It's been a
woo.
year. I made a year. I have been single now a year, and I guys come and be hitting on me all the time and try to tell me all the things that they can do to me and for me, and it's like, you know what? I have a drawer full of toys, and they sell them all night and all day long at they sell mechanicals and the whole nine. Um, I am good in that area if ever needed to be. What I do need and what I do want is I want somebody to mentally be able to screw me, emotionally be able to screw me. I financially can do things for myself. I physically can do things for myself. What I cannot do is emotionally and mentally screw
Mm,
myself. I want for somebody to be able to touch me in areas that I cannot touch myself, and that is emotionally and mentally.
yep.
Um, so when that guy can come along, when you can go ahead and you can teach me something and rock my world mentally and emotionally, then let's have at it. Like those are the areas
Now
that
I feel
I'm
that.
looking for. Like I want to be able to sit here and for you to be like a book to me. Like
Mm,
for me to be intrigued and just be into you like you are a book or a movie.
yes.
Like
I started feeling like that in my 30s,
yes.
mid 30s. I think I honestly, when I first started seeing Rashi, so what was crazy was when we first reconnected, it was like I was like, what can I learn from this man? Like, yeah, he's handsome and he's but it was so what was so crazy was so we had spent the night together, but like he had knowledge for me, right? In
Mhm.
areas about many different things. Like we were just talking and then we vibed so hard on music, but we would just talk. And I was like, I need this stimulation. I didn't get this stimulation before. I was always just so quick to, you know, fit on a physical level. Like we need to be physically in tune with one another
Yeah.
to even, be able to classify to say I'm on this level, or I could show him I could do this with my this and no 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 no.
And
You need
that's
no.
where I have always been. And it's crazy that I have never met a man that I could just talk to for hours and hours and
Oh,
hours.
you will.
Well,
You
I
will.
have now, but I'm saying like, and it's amazing now, like that I can now sit on the phone and talk to this particular person. And, I look at my phone now and it's like, oh shoot, we've been on the phone for 5 hours. Like,
That's old school right there.
but before it was like 30 minutes would go by and it's like we've been breathing in each other's ear for the last 15 of those because we don't have anything to say to one another, and so it's like gotta go. And it was just all physical, like, and it's like I don't have anything to say to you, so gotta go, get off of my phone. But now I know like what it is that I need for you to mentally, I want to just be able to get a glass of wine and pour into you and let you pour back into me. And I don't want to feel like I'm the one that is just over talking. I have the gift slash curse to gab. I can talk, but I want for you to be able to keep up with me so that I don't feel like I have the curse to gab. I want to feel like you can keep up with me, that you
Mhm.
have just as much to say to where I'm not the one that's over talking or
Yeah.
that I'm not bothering you. Like, is it me? Am I bothering you? Are you intrigued by what it is that I have to say? I don't want to feel like I'm gotta dumb myself down or water myself down um, to be able to be on your level. No, none of that. I need to meet a guy that is on my level. And so far, I've met a guy, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Only,
Now,
only the Lord knows.
uh-huh.
Only,
We'll
only
see. I'm with you. We'll
I'm
see.
I'm gonna let God take the lead, and wherever I'm supposed to go, I'm entrusting in Him.
For me, gosh, yeah, I really used to just try so hard to just show my skill set in that one area
I'm
with
not
people I was involved with because I didn't have to. Like I said, I'm a
Now
good. I'm
I'm trying to show my skill set here now.
right here. This is where we at now. But it was so. It would. When I really think back, like I have really evolved as a human being, as a woman, as a mature adult, because all that other stuff is ridiculous.
I told you I'm in my soft girl era now.
Okay, me too.
Yeah,
45. Oh, God, girl, I cannot
soft
say
girl.
44 to save my soul. I still be like, I'm 43. I cannot say 44 to
I'll
save my
be
soul.
I'll be 46 next month.
I know. I know.
My goodness.
God's glory.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. No, but yes, when I think about that question, it would have been nice to have the other two because I'm curious to know what they think about themselves. But for me, and I'm not just saying it because of me, yes, I am a very good lover because I'm nurturing, I'm interested, I'm charismatic, I'm in tune. I want to know what my partner loves and likes, and I want to stimulate them mentally,
I
emotionally, spiritually,
I would
physically.
say I'm a good lover because I am a servicer. Uh, I'm
Okay.
I'm a servicer and I am a caregiver. And so I don't know why I am, but I just love to make sure that at the end of the day, like you're pleased, you are happy, like that you're taken care of, like you're comforted. And I don't know, like my significant other, my partner, I want to make sure that you're good. Like I love to rub feet, I love to massage, I love to do all of that. It's not even like a sexual thing. I don't know. I'm a servicer.
Yeah.
Like I like to take care of you. And it's just a natural thing. It's not even something that I intend on doing. It just always happens. Like I could be like sick and on my damn deathbed, and I still like the minute you come in, like, oh, take your shoes off, let me rub your feet, let me get you in bed.
I'm a servicer too. And what's crazy is I've had experiences where I've dealt with people who have endured trauma and can't receive that appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So like it made it a little uncomfortable for me. See, I've never been molested. I've never been through anything. And so when I would do rose petals and the whole trench coat thing and all the sexy things for someone at one point I had in my life, it was like scary to them because they had never experienced that. And it was like, what the hell are you doing? But then they learned to embrace it as time went on. But you never know what a person's gone through and why they're so guarded. People are guarded out here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of people don't know how to be good lovers because of the things and the traumas that they've endured too. That's not talked about either. How trauma and different things people have endured can make a person hold back in certain areas and not be able to give effectively. I'm a giver. Like I said, I've never, but like you just said, you're a servicer, but
I'm a,
some people
I'm
don't
a
know how to
service.
be.
I'm a servicer, but I've been through a lot of trauma, and it's a double sided sword for me because people know that I've been through trauma, think that they have to be a particular way with me. Um,
I could see that.
it's like no, like I've went through my process, and so it no longer is triggering for me. Um, that no longer is my knife. It's no longer my demon. Um, it holds no weight on me. But a lot of people walk on thin ice because they know that I've been through that trauma. And it's like, oh, I have to be a particular way with her because of this trauma. And it's like, nope, I'm good in that area. Like you don't have to be a particular way. Um, I'm good. And
So
so,
that's really good too because a lot of people sometimes people can't they can't come out of that space. And honestly, I can't say men or women have, because it's everybody's an individual, but I've only dealt with men and it's been a lot harder
mm-hmm,
in that aspect for, men to be able to understand that level of trauma that they've endured to that that keeps them guarded from wanting to be able to connect. Connection is everything for me. I will
Mhm.
tell you, I have to feel connected. If I don't feel connected or if I don't feel there's a connection, it drives me batshit crazy. Like I can't work under these conditions.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't understand that their trauma, all it is unnecessary weight.
Yes.
And until you let go of that unnecessary weight, you're carrying it around. Um, I worked a program for a long time, to where I used to put rocks in backpacks and make individuals carry them around. Um, and tell them, like, you have to carry this backpack around until you're ready to let go of your trauma. When you're ready to let go of your trauma is when you can let go of this backpack. Like, this backpack is representing your trauma, because that is the unnecessary weight. Um, it's representing what it is. Your trauma serves no purpose in your life. Um, it's not doing anything healthy for you by you carrying it around with you. A lot of people don't understand that by me carrying around my trauma doesn't do any justice for me. What it serves for me on the back end is self pity.
Mhm.
And so I am able to use it as a shield, of why it is that I can't do certain things, or the hindering of certain things. And so I can use it as an excuse and all of these things. And so people hold on to it so that they can use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
As bad and as harsh as that sounds, it's the truth. And until I let that go, because I need it for an excuse, um, that's all it's gonna do, is be able to be held. Like, well, I've been through something, and so I need this because I need it for self pity.
Mm.
It is what it is. Um, I can let it go. I can drop it, and I can move on. No longer carry this burden and this weight, and be better and be free.
Mm.
All of the burdens, the weight, the demons, not have to carry it around any longer. I don't carry any of that around. It's not hindering me. It's not an excuse for me. Like, just kind of is what it is. Like, I've moved on from it. I'm not masking it, burying it down, none of it.
Same. Whatever I've had, same. I'm learning to deal with, and that's why I'm so passionate about what it is we're doing and wanting to help people because man, it's a process. But that process, it needs to actually start. You can't stay there,
Right.
and the things that broke you or break you, we can't stay there. We have to leave there. We can't isolate there or wallow there because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us grow. It doesn't help us get anywhere. We'll be completely in bondage forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely necessary to have the tools and have people supporting you that can help you through that. So that is why we do
Cut loose.
what we do. Exactly. And try to help people reach that place in their lives to do so.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I used to think that my sexuality, my need, I used to think I was needy or too needy in certain areas because of my abandonment issues that I
Mm-hmm.
had. And I used to think that I just required or needed so much because I endured, the things that I endured by feeling abandoned by many things in my life. But the reality of it is that I needed to just understand what it was to actually have healthy relationships and healthy connections. And for the longest time, I didn't understand that that's what I needed. I didn't
Yeah.
know that I needed to experience healthy relationships to be able to know how to detach appropriately, or how to, you know what I mean, like how to
Mhm.
just have a balance in my relationships. And that's something that I've learned over the last 10 years. But
And have the right one come along. You know,
yes,
like
yes,
a lot of times, if you don't have the right set of tools, you're always going to be in need of those tools.
right,
And
right,
so once you receive those tools, then it's like those voids are filled.
yes, that's true. Wasn't always a cakewalk though. There's some things that we had to, go through and get through. As far as the things that I've gone through, he's gone through. You have to have an understanding of what your person is dealing with, or have, like we talked about, have dealt with, have been through. Again, being a good lover ain't got nothing to do with solely how you put it down in the bedroom.
Right. But
That's the main thing. It doesn't.
but nothing in life is going to be easy, and if it is easy, then what really are you doing?
Right.
You know, if you can just get up in the morning and everything is done for you, then what really are you doing? If you don't have to work for nothing, what is it really worth doing?
Right.
Because I don't want an easy life. I want to be able to work for something. Um, I
Getting
I
one for something.
I want to be able to work for something because I want it to be worth something. I want to put in my half. I most definitely. I think that God said that we have to be able to do something. Like
Amen.
ain't nothing for free, and if it's free, there's a catch to it. I don't need no catch to it. I don't want to get to the end and find out that there was some foolery in it. No, no. You ain't gonna get me to the end, and all of a sudden I got a bill and I got a
Right.
price to it. I don't know how it work. I'm gonna put in my fair share, and so nothing's gonna be free. And so you keep working at it, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Um, and part of being a good lover, yeah, it's not just sexual. It's gonna be continuously work at every aspect of it, mental, physically, and emotionally, um, financially, communicate and listen.
Yes.
I think those are the two major things: is open listening and communication, and to be honest, and be able to continuously create that space to be able to be honest with one another.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. But I do think communication is the number one component, because you need to know, y'all need to be able to talk to one another and communicate
Mm,
the negotiables versus non-negotiable. Like, all that is necessary. And if you're not doing that, and if you're just out here on the physical, you're not going to you're not going to be together.
mm-mm,
You're not going to last. It ain't going to work, because somebody going to cheat.
mm-hmm,
I'm being real. Like, somebody's gonna cheat because something is getting missed somewhere. You're not communicating appropriately and effectively in those areas.
mm-hmm,
And the big thing I want people to take away from what we're saying here on my end is to understand, again, the components. And I'm gonna go through them, the ones that I wrote. Again, kindness, trust, patience, mutual respect, open communication, and accountability. Those things are extremely important characteristics of being a good lover. You got to be kind. You don't know what another person's gone through. Trust. You have to be able to trust one another. There are so many people laying up with each other, can't even trust each other. Don't even like each other, let alone can't even trust each other, based off of things that have been done, based off of things that they have going on in their own minds about things they've dealt with, insecurities, whatever. Trust is a big one. That is a big characteristic of being a good lover. Patience. You have to be patient with people sometimes. You, again, don't know what a person is going through. If you love someone, if you care about that person, Patience is a virtue. You have to understand and come to some kind of ground or some kind of medium in understanding what that person's endured or whatever. Patience is a virtue. It's important. Mutual respect. Talk it out. Respect one another and what it is that the other person needs, wants, has to have, doesn't have to have. Mutual respect. Respect each other. Respect each other's boundaries. People want to talk about boundaries and use that word like it's water. Use it appropriately. Open communication. Communicate effectively. Talk to your partners, talk to your person. It is very important that you communicate. If you don't communicate, things get missed. When things get missed, it's a big old mess, and it's not fun for anybody to have to clean it up. The big one, my favorite, accountability. Do you know women have been accused of not being able to be accountable?
Mhm.
I take that personal because I'm a very accountable person. I hold myself accountable for my actions, the things that I've done, and I'm a woman, the things I've done. If I do something wrong, I am quick to look at my side of what I've done and come back and rectify it. So it's not a gender thing. Accountability needs to be had on both sides. And that is a great characteristic of being a good lover because you can take accountability for things that you lack understanding of. And you can take accountability for things that you do understand, and you can help your partner in that area as well. So, those are a few of the characteristics of being a good lover. It ain't all about how you put it down in the bedroom. So, those are the realistic characteristics of being a good lover. And reading those and going through those, Davina, do you feel that you qualify yourself as being a good lover?
I most definitely am a good lover. Yes.
Me too. And I ain't just saying it because you know how we could just be like, yeah, we are. No, I'm dead serious. I am. I
I,
got that covered.
I most definitely got that. Um, I'll give my one takeaway. Uh,
Hmm.
if anybody is listening and watching this, my takeaway to you is find you someone that can mentally and emotionally connect with you, that can feed your mind and your soul. Um, Sexual is on the list, but it's not at the top of the list. I think that everybody always thinks that sex is something that matters. Um, as we get older, I don't think that it matters as much.
I mean,
It matters, but not as much.
listen, but I let me not do that.
Mentally and emotionally, I think is at the top of the list. I think that if you can mentally and emotionally connect with me, I think it makes sex so much better. So much better. Like we can have sex and it can be good, but if you mentally and emotionally connect with me, oh my goodness, like it can be so much better.
I agree, 110%. I agree.
What is your takeaway?
Oh gosh, mine is just I really want people to really focus on looking at the bigger scope of things in life when it comes down to all areas. So, like we're talking about right now, being a good lover, really look at the big picture of that, not just the shallow surface level of what that means, but really, really look at the meat and potatoes of what it is to be a good lover. People constantly asking, or they always ask, how do you make you are you really is your marriage really, are you really in a good place? You know why I'm in a good place? Because I really dig deep into the meat and potatoes. Ain't nothing perfect at all. Everything is going to require work. You have to look at the meat and potatoes of everything you do for things to work effectively and efficiently. If you are just surfaced, if you're out here doing surface things, if you're out here not communicating and you're walking on eggshells with your partner and this, that, or the other, stop doing that. Dig deep into your relationships with people and connect. Connection is everything. So I guess my takeaway is connect and, you know, really just focus on the realistic aspects of your relationships with people as opposed to the surface level stuff, because all that's dead. Anybody can come and, excuse my language, anybody can fuck you. And I'm just, let's just be real. Anybody can fuck you. But the reality of it is that, can you mind stimulate me though? What can I learn from you? How can I grow? How can I elevate as a human being? What are you teaching me? What can I teach you? What can we put together? What can we bring to the table? If you can't answer none of those things, then you got some reevaluations to do, straight
Mm-hmm.
up. So, and that's all. That's all I got. Hey, look, what was I? I'm not. Wait till the brunch. No, I'm just kidding. I can't. I have to, because we have to give it to people straight, you know? We have to. That's just the truth. Can't sugarcoat that. Anybody can come along and do whatever.
Yep, I agree.
So, but yeah, that's all I have. This has been good.
It has been good. Thank you guys
Um,
for joining us.
yeah, next week we are looking for a guest for the domestic violence month. Could be somebody that was previously on that may be in a different place than they were in last year. That's good. It can be anybody. Next week we are looking for a guest for the domestic. Happened. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, but we can. Yeah, we can end, I guess.
Yes.
All
See
right.
you
You
guys next
guys have a good